would think that once you are living the dream, touring with big name bands, having the fame and fortune, that there wouldn't be anything else to reach for. But as amazing as that lifestyle may seem, it's crazy how a near brush with death placed our guest today to pursue a much greater purpose. I'm your host, Rachel Dares.
And I'm Marshall Thomas, and you're on PassionDriven.tv. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to PassionDriven.tv. It is an extreme pleasure to have you back with us and checking out the show again today. We have a very special guest with us, musician, singer, songwriter, businessman, entrepreneur, and bon vivant, Larry Hatcher. Here he is, larger than life, and boy, are we glad to have you today.
And I'm glad to be here.
So good to see you.
Here, guys.
I met Larry a couple years back at a concert. Go figure,
That's
right?
correct. Right.
We've kept in touch ever since, talked about some business ventures and so forth. The one thing I've never talked to you about, though, is your earliest beginnings, your roots, where it all started.
Yeah, speaking of the roots, it was at the bottom of the map, Mobile, Alabama, in the Gulf of Mexico. That's where I sold my oats and did a lot of music stuff. Went to school at Tuskegee, hung out with the famed Commodores for a while, and moved on for Parliament and Zapp and Temptations and Motown, and the story goes on and on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I know a lot of blues greats started out down in that same neck of the woods, right?
Harlem. Would you say blues? The first thing
Yes.
coming to my mind, Rachel, is a club I name a Harlem Duke Social Club, where everybody, I mean, Johnny Taylor, B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland. Nice. Then they had a place by the name of the Blue Room, but it was the heart of Dixie, of course. And there, it was just a travel route for a lot of musicians, a lot of music people. Right. Here's one name that I know you guys probably. Do you remember the name Charlie Fox?
Charlie Fox. Now, see, with my musical
Tell
background,
us.
I should know.
This is like a little quiz.
Yeah.
Type.
Oh, I see. Okay,
And this is good.
He's testing us.
Because now he's from Mobile. Okay, if I give you the whole name, then you may remember it. Inez and Charlie Fox.
Oh, okay. Yes. Famous duet.
Maybe a little bit before you, because you're the baby of the group. But the name of the song was Mockingbird. Everybody, have you heard? We gonna buy me a mockingbird. So yeah, he's from Mobile.
He is.
And I worked with him for a long time.
Well.
And from there, just did a lot of stuff in Mobile. And from there, went to school and didn't hardly go to school because Commodores got their first start with the Jacksons at Motown by going to New York, and we won a contest.
Huh.
But, I wasn't there that long because I had other things I had to do with Candy Staten.
Yeah.
I mean, I went on, and then the leader of James Brown bands from Mobile, Alabama, is named Fred Wesley.
Fred, yeah.
Jabbo, the drummer.
Okay, yeah.
Drummer and stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, so Larry, where did this passion stem from? At what age were you, singing or playing whatever instrument? I mean, you pretty much. What instruments do you play? What instruments do you not play? Right.
It'd be more easier to say that to go there. I'm very versatile. I started out. The music bug bit me, I guess, when. I am getting ready to tell some really truth things here. But the Beatle invasion from England. I remember sticking these mop sticks in the ground, and we used it as a microphone. We was, we was marking them. I love you, yeah, playing the air guitar and everything.
Right.
Wasn't any horns then, because I wasn't a horn guy. I was just playing guitar there and stuff.
Nice.
And I remember, but my brother played horn, and he played with Fred Wesley and played with a lot of famous musicians. I went to a marching. They had one of the most famous marching bands in that city by the name of the Wildcats, Central High School Wildcats. Huh. Here's another quiz for you guys.
Oh,
you know what? Hey, guys, I got a lot of quizzes. Look, Mobile, whether you know it or not, is what they call the birth of Mystic Parades. So as Mardi Gras capitalized on Mardi Gras season,
Okay.
it started in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
it started in Mobile, Alabama,
Interesting fact
and
for
it's
that.
still to this day. It's called the birth of Mystics Parades.
I love that.
And I played in this band by the name of Central High School Marching 100, and then it became the Marching 130. And when I was there was a gentleman, my brother played with the musical director of the band. It was Mr. Irons, and then Mr. E.B. Coleman. And I learned a lot about music.
It sounds like you really didn't even have to go to school for it. You were
Yeah.
learning on the fly. Yeah.
It was, man, we are really good. I'm telling you, man, it was just, I haven't entered in these memory banks in a long time.
We're going back.
We're going back because back then it wasn't. They weren't called bands. They used to be called combos.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah. Sometimes it'd just be bass, guitar, and drums, or a piano,
Or tuba.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Right. Sure.
Tuba and a horn and somebody singing, and I did all of that. Yeah, but we played around the cities and certain nightclubs. Here's a club name for you. And my southern, but this when this hit the Gulf of Mexico and the Mobile and that southern area, there was a club by the name of the Club Daishiki.
Oh, I love that.
And then we had a Mardi Gras club.
I would imagine so.
Doug Thompson, it was the owner name. Club Elite, Ashley Moody. Are we going off? I'm sorry, guys.
No,
I'm just
no,
having
no.
a flashback.
Yeah,
We're
no.
just- we
we
wanted you
want
to-
to know.
And
we
some
wanna
of the
know.
best musicians that we know today came through there. Like I said, Fred Wesley, Jabo. You had a lot of famed musicians. Bobby Blue. Oh, what's the drummer name? That played with Bobby Blue. George something. There's a lot of people, man.
Lot of
There's a
people,
lot
yeah.
of people.
Can imagine.
But
And we just lost Bobby Blue Band just
I
recently.
know,
it's-
but it was a great place to be from. But there's a lot of things that, you had to grow into, being in Mobile, because it was still, once again, the heart of Dixie.
Especially in the 60s, things were
Things
different.
was different,
Yeah.
but being a young kid, I didn't know at the time why I was standing outside of the Dairy Castle and couldn't go in.
You ain't go in.
And I used to ask my mom, why can't we go in? But
Yeah.
those were those times.
Yeah.
And learned a lot.
I
Learned
bet
a
you
lot.
did. Yeah, you were probably not even old enough to really be in some of the places you guys were playing, I would imagine. They had to sneak you in through the kitchen or something.
If we had time, if this show was like 2 hours long, I could feel it, because that's how I first got the job. I was still in junior high school, and the guy in one of the most popular bands in that city at that particular time the name of the band was, here's another name, Bobby Schamberger and the Groove Makers.
Whoa,
Now you couldn't make anything up.
Yeah, exactly.
And the lead guitar came to our band room and we asked the band director. He asked me, said, "I'm looking for a trumpet player that can sing, and we're looking for the best that you have. I want the best, but the most important element that he has to have is he has to have patience and be able to get along with people.
Okay.
And that's more important than his ability to play."
Yeah, that is so true. That's true in acting. More than one manager or agent will tell you, if you can't get along on a set and
no,
vibe
it defeats
with
the
everybody,
purpose. It makes it hard to work with you.
Yes.
yeah, nobody wants
Makes
that.
it hard. Now, I mean, it's at such a young age, you're out there and you're pretty much already living the dream. Now, when it comes to passion driven, a lot of people think like it's just the glitz and the glamour of it. What were your struggles and the challenges that you encountered, and how did you overcome?
The biggest struggle of most people, no matter what line of work they want to enter in, you would never guess what the biggest issue that they have with trying to be success. So, and that is leaving your hometown.
Right. Huh.
It's hard to say,
Sure.
I'm
Comfort
going to
zone.
venture out.
Yeah, that's home.
And you like to. I had someone recently out of Detroit, Michigan. Why would you come to California? Because you're good at what you do. Well, I want the church that I go to. My family goes there, and I'll miss my mom.
That's
and
right.
I'm a mama's girl, and I'll miss the surroundings. I said, well, will you miss the cold weather?
Right?
Yeah. You know, no, I won't miss the cold weather, but it's hard for people to uproot themselves
Yeah.
and go to other areas.
That's the truth, though. That's the truth.
It's the part that people, and you miss out on never getting a chance to see the world
Right.
by not, because you love your family more than you love your future. And I can't put it any better than that.
No, you're right. Nobody wants to leave that comfort zone.
Who
And that's what it
does?
is.
Who
And that's what it
does?
is. We're creatures of habit, and you want to stay in that where you came from. It's hard to fly the nest. Yeah.
Right, but then you live in that bubble and you never venture out, like you said, because
And
there
that's-
is a journey and an adventure out there that you're missing out on.
I think the first question that you ask yourself as you get older is, why didn't I go? Why didn't I leave? Why didn't I do it? Now it's kind of like it's too late because you're no longer 15, 16, 17, 18
Sure.
when you can have the youth to do all of these energy things that you need to do. Now you're 40 and 50 and 60 thinking that you still could do it, but you're still afraid to leave. No, that's the catalyst. You're just too afraid to leave.
I like that. So
Right.
don't be afraid. Don't be
Don't
afraid to
be
leave.
afraid.
You can't be
Yes,
afraid. You
yes,
look.
yeah.
I know you love your parents, and I know you love your surroundings, your church, but you have to be selfish at some point and think of you,
Right.
your future. And if you have kids, I know it could be hard, but you got to get out there. If you want the passion to be driven, you have to get out and explore. There's no other way.
Love that.
And I was young when I did that.
Beautiful.
How old were you when you?
Ooh.
Well, my mom is deceased right now, so I could tell this story. But she,
Oh no.
my brother and Fred Wesley, they played together, and they used to play. I used to remember going to car lots and performing
Right.
with them because you took your gig anywhere you can get one.
Sure. Sure.
And I remember going to a few car lots, a few places that was kind of obscure, different places. And I was a little kid, and my brother and Fred Wesley was playing. One day, my brother, Fred Wesley, was the leader of James Brown Band. Fred Wesley, Maceo Parker. Hey, Maceo, blow your horn. Everybody know Maceo and Fred. Fred called my house because he needed a horn player. And my brother was in the military at this particular time. And so Fred was, I answered the phone. He said, and my brother's name, AC, Andrew Charles. AC, hey man, you still playing? And I said, yeah, I'm still playing, but this is not AC. This is his younger brother. He said, Little Larry? He said, I said, yeah. He said, but where's your brother? I said, he's out of sea. He said, oh man, I had a gig for him. I said, I play the same thing, Fred. Then he said, are you any good? And he said, how's your eyes? I said, I can read. He said, how's your ears? I said, I'm good at impromptu.
Nice.
And he said, how's your lip? I said, it's up.
Nice.
He said, if you hadn't answered those questions right, I wasn't going to give you the chance. So being that you did, meet me over in Pensacola, Florida
Nice.
tonight
Wow.
and be there early at 7 o'clock.
Nice.
I had never been to Pensacola.
Oh my gosh.
But I got there, and I was still like in junior high school.
Oh.
Wow.
And I went out, and I worked with them and toured with them. And my mom, then I used to tell my mom, I'm going to stay over at Adrian's house. Adrian,
wow.
One of
gee
those
whiz.
stories.
And I'm going to go to school from there, but I wasn't in school. But I was touring, making all this money.
Right.
I made all this money, and I used to give it to my mom, and she said,
Sweet. Where do you get that?
Aw.
no paper. What's the color?
Oh, paper route?
Paper route.
Yeah.
No
Paper
paper
route
route. I
pays
know
that.
pays this kind of
Yeah,
money.
right?
You know, I said, well, I've been playing, and back then you're talking about switches.
Yep.
And we talk about the day situation with the ball players and everybody. Man, I could have been rich, man. My mom would have got in a lot of trouble because she was one of them moms that them hedges. When we messed up, and we go get that switch, and if you bring one back too small,
Yep.
I'm gonna go get a big one.
Yeah. No.
So I had to be like, well, this was too big.
Yeah.
This one might be. But then if you want me to have that safety measure, you take one that's kind of between, and I took it, and she used it, but it made the difference.
It does. It
Because
does.
today I can proudly 100% announce that I'm a musician that never got high,
There you go.
never done drugs.
Nice.
That is
Now,
amazing.
and there's nobody out there in TV land that can say, yeah, you say, no, he's right. He never got high with us.
That's
Right, right.
amazing.
He never, and being a musician, that's kind of like
kind of goes hand
they
in
had to have, but no, that switch worked
It
for
does.
me.
My mom did the same thing.
It worked.
Go pick one. She would tell you,
surprised.
go get one off the tree right now. I'm not waiting until Dad gets home.
Right,
Right.
And,
right.
And
Right.
don't make it too skinny. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh my! And I tried all the tricks. I'd put stuff in my pants, and it didn't.
Marshall, you too?
They switch your legs, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man. But my mom was even slicker than that. Okay, so since you want to pad the situation, pull them pants down.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And that's what it was,
And that's what
man.
would happen too. Yeah, you grab your ankles because this,
Right.
this is going. And her favorite line was, "This is going to hurt you more than it does me." So with tears coming out of your eyes, you're wondering, really?
Right,
and
right.
Of course, as you get older, that makes sense.
And Richard Pryor tells a story about his grandmama used to think that he would bypass the whooping
Right.
by going to sleep, going to bed.
Oh.
But my mom used to get up, out, don't put your hands down, don't you run from. Richard Pryor tells. I mean, everybody in the South did that. He was
Did
from
that, yeah.
Peoria, Illinois, but he grew up in Mississippi.
Oh God.
And he when he told that story, man, it
dear.
brought back a lot of memory, man.
It does. I think that is a Southern thing. My mother was from Hope, Arkansas, home of
Okay.
It's a Southern
Bill
thing.
Clinton's hometown.
Yeah, sure is.
And so yeah, all the Southernisms are there.
Yeah.
Right.
Grew up on cornbread and
Oh man.
pork chops and black-eyed peas, and yeah. In fact, New Year's is coming. You got to have your black-eyed peas.
I got him. I already got him.
Okay, because it's good luck. You know
Because
that.
it's a regular thing.
Yeah,
in my
right, it's a
house, not
regular
just
thing.
New Year's.
Right, exactly.
But in that Southern tradition,
Mm.
man, you guys are taking me back. This is a great show. This is a great show. Can we do it next week again? I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, look,
love it.
we used to have a fig tree
Ah.
in our backyard, and my mom used to make these homemade biscuits, and she'd take the figs off the tree, and she'd sit them in this pan and put some brown sugar on top of it, and it would make it on syrup. And turn the heat up real slow, makes its own syrup with those biscuits.
Man, oh man.
Oh man, some of you guys know what I'm talking about out there.
Yeah, we got
you
some
guys know.
out there. Mouths are
Some cinnamon,
drooling.
put a little cinnamon in. Oh
Yep.
man, So now this could be a cooking show too.
Yeah, better believe it. Yeah. We haven't had anybody bring a recipe in just yet, so
Not
that's
yet.
There we go.
There's
I'm
a
trying to
passion
tell
driven
you.
first.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. So obviously, I mean, your background, I mean, especially with your mom being the way that she is, that still didn't stop you from really just pursuing your dreams. There are just some things that continue to kind of just drive you. That even though the strictness, because I come from a very conservative family background as well, and as much as I was doing everything, my parents were really very controlling.
Sure.
But the thing is, I respected them, but it didn't really stop me from pursuing what it was that I really wanted to do.
It takes, once again, perseverance. I mean, and to have it when you're that young, you have to be driven to desire something that you really want to do, because at that particular age, you don't know what it is.
Right.
But it's that Beatles, it's that music.
Oh yeah.
And it's some of the same type of things that kids have today, but they don't know what it is because it's a different type of musician. They're technical musicians. Their musical talent come from electronic devices.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're taking music that we made and sampling a lot of it.
Yes.
Or now, I mean, you can just take something that we've done, and when they finish with it, you don't even hear what we've done, but they've
It's
tweaked the note this way
Right.
and that way and
Yes.
pushed and pulled, and now they got a new sound and technical stuff that's happening there, and those are today's musicians.
Right.
It used to be back in our days where we, practice our craft by practicing,
Yeah.
being in a musical band, playing in a nightclub,
Yep.
and that was a different experience, especially in that southern route down in New Orleans, Bourbon Street. Wow. Mississippi, playing in Biloxi and different clubs in Alabama, Georgia, and just playing what they call, here it is, the Chitlin.
The Chitlin Circuit, of course. Yeah, there's not an artist around that didn't live that. I had the pleasure of interviewing Big Joe Turner years ago, and Don Julian and the Meadowlarks, and
Oh man! See,
people like that, and they talked about that Chitlin Circuit because
sure.
it was their gravy train.
Yes.
You could tour that year after year, and people got to know you. The clubs got to know you, and you would fill up the houses everywhere you went. They talked about that a lot.
So-
Heck yeah.
Larry, you've toured with the big name bands, and I mean, the thing is, it's like seeing you right now and the way you are, you're just so humble and just so down to earth. But at one stage, at a stage in your life, I mean, did fame and fortune get to your head?
never.
Never.
Because
Was there ever a doubt that you
yeah.
couldn't carry this on, or that this
Sure.
wasn't working? Really? No.
I mean, yeah, there was a lot of doubt because it sounded like it was a happy beginning or it was an easy beginning, but it wasn't. I can tell you stories that you wouldn't believe. Oh man, should I go there? Okay, look.
You can
thi-
take us on a journey.
this-
Yes,
this-
take us,
it's
please.
all good.
there's a lot of songs at Commodores. All my love, peace, and happiness I'm gonna give to you. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 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 do. But these are songs that we did before we had any hits,
Oh, okay.
and that Clyde Walter Orange made me learn the songs because at that particular time, William King was a tennis pro, that trumpet player that's there now,
Oh, wow.
still with the Commodore.
What are we doing?
And I was supposed to take his place. And none of you guys could probably remember the first hit song that the Commodores had. So I'm not gonna quiz you on that.
Another quiz, yeah.
But this one was it was an instrumental called Machine Gun.
Okay.
I remember Clyde said, "Man, are they playing the record down in Mobile yet?" Because it's my hometown.
Gotcha.
I said, "Yeah, man, they playing it." And it's funny. Mobile, are they playing a hit song? I'm gonna tell you another movie. Look, I have to go here. What's the name of the movie with George Clooney? They playing the. They broke out of prison.
Broke out of prison. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Oh, brother, where art
Oh,
thou?
wow.
Yeah.
And remember when they went and said, "Hey," they picked up the black guy and he sold his soul to the
Sold.
devil.
Oh,
and
wow.
he said that, "Hey, there's a guy down there, some city, it's in Mississippi, said he'll give you about $10 if you sing into this can."
Right.
And they went and did this song, which was the big hit.
Yep.
And the guy paid him, and the guy said, "Hey, man, Soggy Bottom Boys."
The Soggy
Soggy
Bottom
Bottom
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah. Oh.
And what happened, and the reason why I'm telling this story, because it has a tie-in to Mobile. The guy said, "Man, we got to find those boys because that song is a hit. They played it all the way down there in Mobile." I get a kick out of it every time I hear that movie, see that movie. But it was playing the hit songs and it was playing things, and I was starting to play and learn all this stuff with the Commodores. And one night, Lionel Richie, we showed up at the Club Dashiki, and William wasn't there, and Lionel Richie and Donna was coming from Tuskegee. He was a little late, and this was my time to start playing with the group and all this kind of stuff. And it just bring back a lot of memory. The Manhattans, the Manhattan group. I had to meet you here today.
yeah.
There's just so many
Oh,
things,
yeah.
Yep.
you know, and some things that took place with that group, and that's one of my first big opportunities. I left Mobile with them. Here's something that I did that I don't even know if musicians today. There was a place to perform at the big auditorium in Mobile by the name of the Mobile Municipal Auditorium. And I was young, didn't have any money to go to the concert, but I wanted to get in.
You can always sneak in somewhere in the
Well,
back
let me
door.
tell you how.
You do.
Let me tell you how I snuck in.
It's like getting into the theater. It's not that hard.
For some reason, I took my horn out of the case,
Okay, I know where this is
Yes,
going.
I know exactly where it's going.
and when they got off the bus in the back of the auditorium and then walked up the ramp
Right.
to all the musicians, I just followed behind
Part of the band.
with my horn, and nobody asked me the question. Now I'm backstage.
Cool.
Now I'm working my magic.
Wow.
I say, hey man, hey, it's that guy. He comes here every time we're here. And the leader of the group, Winford Lovett, Blue, they call him. I met you here today with a bit of bad news. That the guy that sang bass, he said, I'm gonna give you a chance. Be ready to go at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to Fort Lauderdale,
Wow.
Florida.
Nice.
Be on the bus. And I was there and I got on the bus. And Fort Lauderdale, we played at a place in Fort Lauderdale by the name of the Bachelors 3. Now the quiz time. That club belonged to Joe Namath.
Is that
It
right?
was called the Bachelors 3.
Okay, yeah, he invested in things of that nature. Yeah, Broadway Joe.
Yeah, and when we finished playing in the Manhattans, the band that came in after us was Stan Kenton and his big band.
Ooh, nice. Wow.
See,
Boy,
this
boy.
is history, folks.
That's amazing.
But this
That's
is
amazing.
way back, and they needed a horn player.
Yeah, hey.
And we was there, and I was off, and I worked, and I got a chance to play with the late great Stan Kenton.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
And
Awesome.
this was big band. This is when big band was just changing of the guard when it comes to music.
Right. Yeah, there was a phase and there a change was
Just like it
coming.
is now.
Yeah, change has come and it's
Change has
here and
come.
it's
Yeah.
big business. Before we run out of time,
Sure.
and I love all these stories, and we could go on for
Yes.
hours. You're wearing a USMC hat today.
correct.
I know our lives, all of us have life-changing events that occur to all of us throughout our lives. One of yours came after a car crash and thus got you thinking about other things in this world besides music and songwriting and playing. Could you spin that yarn for us? Take us back
By all means.
just for the fun of it.
It was July the 5th, 2010, and I had just wrapped. I have a broadcast rental service with cameras, and I was doing a taping and filming. Jamie Foxx has a Sirius XM radio station by the name of the Foxhole.
Okay.
And there was a gentleman there that had hired me to film a show that Jamie called, what was it? Fox. It was the Foxhole talent where they had bands to come in and they perform. And this is right across the street from the Staples Center at, Jennifer Lopez again. Jennifer Lopez. I think she was one of the proprietors of this club by the name of the Conga Room.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep.
The Conga Room.
Well
And
done.
so that's where Jamie Foxx would do his thing every Monday night. And I filmed it, 2 cameras shot. And after the shoot, the night was over, we packed up the band. Okay, we packed up the equipment, and I'm on my way home, dropped off my film guy. On my way, stopped at a light, started drizzle, making a left turn at the shortcut to the airport. Stocker and La Cienega, when you make that left turn, somebody pushed me
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
and it into the medium. It was a high medium, and the car flipped over about 3 times.
Huh.
And a fireman and a Marine, a couple of Marines, came to my rescue. And I was hanging upside down like low fruit.
Yeah.
And this happening, they was in regular clothing, but the fireman and the Marine, but the fireman was doing all the talking. He was like, I'm an off-duty fireman. I have a knife in my pocket. I don't know if you know it, but you're upside down. We're going to cut you out of the harness. And very calm and soothing voice. And I'm reaching for my equipment because that's the most important thing to me. He said, I want you to refrain from doing that because you may damage vertebrae or you might spine something. The last thing I remember is leaving in an ambulance and he's standing by waving at me. And that particular day, the Hero Rescue Fund was founded. And it's a foundation based upon helping military firemen and policemen. And that's my passion, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And that's what we love about you. Great. I'm glad we were able to get that in there because I know this is what's next on your horizon.
It is.
Among all the other things that you do still.
Right.
But the Hero Rescue Fund is, for 2015, one of those major goals that you want to propel forward.
Sure.
Yeah, indeed.
HeroRescueFund.org, where we can be reached at, and we do a lot of good things. PTSDs are for the military, firemen, those carcinogen washing machines that when they're in the fire, they have to wash those clothes because there's poison. And they can't keep putting them back on. They have to go through a certain type of washing machine, and the military and the firemen. And with the whole thing with policemen today, we want to be the catalyst to help bridge that gap between police departments and communities. We're going to figure out a way to do it, and I think
we need
That
that.
is so needed.
Yeah.
Boy, do we need that.
I think we can get it done. We can get it done.
Yeah, because this has become, the end of 2014 has turned out to be especially tumultuous
Right.
in that
Yes.
department.
Yes.
Larry
Thank you guys
Hatcher,
for having
Larry
me.
Hatcher,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you
Marshall,
so much.
thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
having me.
Rachel and I have just had yes, we have to have you back. Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
Love
So
to come
much.
back. Love to.
PassionDriven.tv. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And yes, another great guest on the way soon. But today, Larry Hatcher, I think, blew us all out of the water. Thank you so much.
Have you ever wanted to make a difference for our military heroes, but weren't sure how? Many brave men and women have fought in wars such as Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, and now back to Iraq again to protect our nation. Do you know a veteran who has given so much, but struggles financially, socially, or emotionally? This could be your chance to finally make a difference. Many of our heroes return home to a lack of friends, family, and moral support. They struggle to fit back into normal society, having suffered traumatic experiences, mental and physical.
I was injured on June 4th. I was shot in the abdomen, and then right after I was blown up by an IED where it was trapped in my lower legs. So I was not able to walk. And that's just what happened to me.
The Hero Rescue Fund has arrived and is on a mission to provide these incredible heroes with the support they need to adjust back to a normal life. By calling toll-free 1-844-462-3243. That's 1-844-GO-BE-A-HERO. Or by visiting our website at HeroRescueFund.org. You can immediately help our military heroes receive the care and attention they deserve by giving a small donation. Together, we can make a difference.
Don't hesitate to make a difference. Please call now 1-844-462-3243 or 1-844-GO-BE-A-HERO. For a small donation of $19.99 or more, you can help our heroes today. Join us in helping those who help others.
I want to thank our special guest today, Larry Hatcher, for joining us. And as you can see, Larry is a bit of a showbiz renaissance man, singer, songwriter, musician, actor, and an entrepreneur. As a singer, Larry really knows how to move an audience. And you too can move people with your voice. You can mesmerize, seduce, infuriate, or command, inspire fear and dread, trust and love. The sound of your voice can evoke memories, sensations, thoughts, and feelings. Your voice is an awesome force to make or break bonds, to uplift, to create or destroy. Your voice is the core of your personal power and resonates the essence of your truth and our truth. We've all heard that old adage, the truth shall set you free. So look deep inside yourself today and be truthful with yourself. If there's something you've always wanted to do, go for it. We only get one chance at the golden ring on this carousel of life, so let yourself be free of doubt. Doubt can be your undoing, like that old little voice that says, "Did I leave the stove on when I left the house?" If you're centered and focused, that voice shouldn't trip you up. Stay in the moment, and you will be inspired to take on those things that are important to you and yours. Thank you for watching PassionDriven.tv. Our thanks to OC Digital Studios. I'm Marshall Thomas, and as always, be good to each other.